Not too long ago, I got an amazing opportunity to go to South Africa to bring animal chiropractic to the country, to teach veterinarians in the country about animal chiropractic, to have an amazing experience, work on some crazy and phenomenal animals. So my team and I went there, worked on some amazing things, and we want to take you along in this journey. We want you to see what we did and see how animal chiropractic can be brought to different nations and how it can change the lives of people and animals near you. So we left Buccaneers and we went over this nature preserve that wasn't too far away. Now on this nature preserve, we were going to be working on a lion. So when we first got there, we walked in this beautiful resort, this beautiful lodge, and we actually sat down with the owner. We sat down to coffee and we actually went through a safety briefing and talked about what we were going to actually be doing with this lion. So this lion was going to be having a vasectomy. And while it was having the vasectomy and while it was still under, we were actually going to get to work on it. And during that time, I was going to be able to go and teach and show students what I do up close and personal. While we were sitting there with the owner, he was walking through why we were actually going to be working on this lion and why we were going to actually be doing this vasectomy.
Okay, with the lion today, what we're going to do is going to vasectomize the lion. Why we're vasectomizing and not castrating is that if you castrate it, it doesn't have testosterone and the mane falls out. So we're doing a lot more complicated operation, which is the vasectomy. Okay, what we're going to do is immobilize our lion, move it out, and then in a secure area, vasectomize it and then release it back. The main reason for that is lions breed very easily. And in a controlled environment, we're trying to limit the number of the lions. Okay. From a viewpoint, you'll see there's already a group of 12 lions there. So that we have lots of lions, and so as to not have too many, that's why we're doing the vasectomy.
People see lions like that, they're running out there wild, they weigh 120, 150, 160. Ours are 250, 280 kilos.
After we did a quick safety briefing, ran through a quick dry run to make sure we knew what we were doing, that we were all going to be safe.
So that's what we're going to do today. It means we have to just be a little bit more on our toes. So this is my serious stuff. I'll be more fun later, I promise. But for my serious stuff, for those of you that haven't worked with lions before, obviously they are very large and they are very dangerous. When we're working with them, I need people to maintain a bit of quiet. The signs of lions waking up are very subtle. Hey, they're just a flick of the tail, a twitch of a muscle, it's an ear twitch, anything like that signals everybody stop. So the first thing that will normally happen is if I'm worried the animal's a bit light, I'll just say stop. You must stop and you must stay still. If I'm worried the animal is light enough it's going to chow somebody, then I'm going to tell you to get out. But first of all, usually it's just a stop, we top up, we wait, and then we carry on with what we're doing.
Okay?
When he's finished eating, you won't eat the second one.
Sacrifice me. You got that?
All right, Brian's
Right, are we ready? Okay, let's try and load again.
Okay, all
right. Turn around.
Whenever we were in vehicles, we went over to the reserve and we were actually waiting for the lion to be darted and for him to be sedated. So the first vehicle that was holding the veterinarian went into the game capture area looking for this lion that was supposed to be darted. Once the veterinarian went into the game capture area and darted the lion, we had to wait for it to be sedated. Once it was sedated, we strategically placed the vehicles around the lion so that we could capture it and transport it without any harm coming to us. There were plenty of lions all around us.
The Mets with us.
They just sat down.
Do you get nervous?
Okay, we can load quietly.
If you guys come around, we can load quietly, but we cannot make noise when we're loading. Alright.
Me and my team were actually part of the capture team that got to transport the lion out of this area and transport it over into the area where we were going to be doing surgery.
And two guys hold the stretcher, flip this way. The rest of the guys grab the tail and legs. And we're going to drag it.
Pull backwards. Pull down. Back up. Keep going with the stretcher. Let's go. One more time, please. Okay, we're good. I need to get one. Okay. Everyone back to their vehicles quietly. Everyone back to their vehicles quietly. Everyone back in, back in, back in. Quietly back into your vehicles. Quietly, quietly, quietly. Okay. Everyone stay with me.
Get him on his back.
Come closer to the vehicle, closer to the vehicles with you.
Okay, and swing him around so that his balls are not against the vehicle.
Swing him around like that.
So once we got it over into that area, we had to unload it, and then we prepped it for surgery. During the surgery, we got to watch and take note in how a surgery in the wild is done. Whenever there are no hospitals, when there's no exam table or exam room. After the surgery and while the lion was still sedated, we were able to get the chance to work on it. So they pulled the vehicle out, and whenever they pulled the vehicle out, we were able to move the lion over and get it in a position where I was able to work on it. When I first went in to work on it, the lion was actually coming out of sedation, and as I'm making the first adjustment, you can hear a slight roar under its breath.
Okay, everyone just back out, please. Everyone out. Everybody out, even from your side.
And it was a very cool, very startling, and very hair-raising experience. As soon as that happened, the veterinarian asked us all to leave the room or leave the area so that we were able to, or she was able to put it back under sedation. And then once it was sedated again, we were able to go in and we were able to check it and check for those areas in its spine that weren't moving again. Now, once I found those areas, I invited the veterinary students over to actually feel what I feel. Instead of just saying, here, this is what I do for a living, and this is what I feel, and this is what I see, come here and actually experience it for yourself. So we found a couple spots in its lower back that hadn't been moving all that great.
So we want to feel this. So take your fingers like this, push right here, push this way.
Wait, what?
Take your fingers like this, push here, push this way in that angle. Feel how it kind of moves a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
And then feel right here. Do the same thing back here, right there.
Oh.
You feel it?
Yeah.
So that spot's not moving. Yep.
Now, those areas may not have ever bothered this animal. Those areas may not have really ever caused it to have any sort of neurological conditions or caused it any major harm. Or it could have been something that had been bothering it for quite some time and been a slight nuisance.
Here. So push up like that. You feel it moves?
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
You feel how it's stiff?
Yeah.
Now watch. Right.
Can I try and feel it?
Yeah. So feel it now.
Did it go away?
No, but the motion, there's a little bit more motion to it, like just a little bit.
Yeah.
So right there. So push this way. So you feel that there's a little bit of motion there, but feel right here. There's a ton of motion. Whenever you do it, you feel how much it moves?
Yep.
So this spot's restricted.
What are you trying to feel?
Right here. So basically all I'm feeling is restriction and motion. So there's supposed to be just a little bit of motion that the joint's supposed to play through. So the joints are supposed to do this. But what happens is I stop like this and they only move this far. So then I push it back into its normal range of motion. So that's like right pelvis right here. Push again in this direction, get behind it, push that way. You feel how like it's rock solid?
Yeah.
So let's see. Like you can actually feel, if you run across here, what you feel is you actually feel flexion of the vertebra in front, slide flexion. And so it creates a little ridge. And what you're feeling is the edge of that ridge where it's stuck in flexion. So it's kind of neat. Anybody else want to feel it?
I want to feel it.
So right here. So
How do I put like that?
well, yeah, just you can do this too. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna feel. So you feel all these, and then all of a sudden, pink, you hit like a bridge, like you hit like a stop. You feel like a little hump?
That's
That's that vertebra in front stuck in flexion.
Oh yeah.
Feel a little hump?
Yep.
So,
They're right here.
rib-wise, that is right around the thoracolumbar junction. So it's correlation. Right SI didn't move all that well. Could be part of the reason why. There could be some other stuff going on in here, but we get all that side-to-side motion happening there instead of down here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of neat.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you.
And then I was gonna say we can be done unless you guys do all your thing.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is
Animals in the wild don't get veterinary care or chiropractic care like animals that are domesticated do. So animals in the wild can live their entire lives with areas in their spine that go unchanged and untreated and can eventually become degenerative or become arthritic. Now those animals can live their entire life with arthritis, pain, and discomfort, and nobody ever knows it. They live and die with pain. After the surgery and after we got to work on the lion, we had to then put it back into its enclosure. So we picked the lion back up, stitches and all, put it back on the truck, and then transport it back into the enclosure.
Need more guns. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold the legs. Hold forward. Ready. Foot stuck. Wait. Foot stuck in the strap.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, everyone back on the vehicle.
Back on.
Right, let's keep well tonight, I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
Are you gonna have to go forward and then come back?
Okay.
Seriously.
Pulled out a loud cough. First one he ever pulled out on the way to the farm. That ain't
It's like quickly on Saturday morning.
Now the lion had to be woken up with medications, and it had to be watched over until it completely woke up. Continue to follow along with us as we travel across South Africa. We get to work on amazing animals like zebras and giraffes, Cape buffalo and lions, and showing animal chiropractic to people in places that have never seen it before.